like, let's talk about, because I think it's a pretty interesting process as well. Because I think it also changes this. So you get your license, but you went through this interesting process with a guy called. So you changed names, you changed business names, and you went through a process with a dude called Damien. What's his last name? Damien what?
Scott.
Damien Scott. Right. So you went through a process with him. Who I've actually gone through a similar process, not for this, but for something else. It didn't eventuate, but it's talk about that process and talk about A, its benefit, and then B, like how that guides how you do business, and then what changes that made to like your business trajectory after that.
Yeah, so Ilcon Building served a purpose for where like everything we just spoke to and much more, basically all aiming towards getting that unlimited building license, which was crescendoing and building to like a big 4-hour interview, which we just spoke about, ended very quickly. So although I was happy I was out of there, I was also like, oh, all of that time just for that. But yeah, so we got to that point, had the license, and then it's like, right, we're now at a point where we have the ability legally to take on works that like was the original intent, was the original business, the original mission. And when I say original, I actually did a business plan during the my apprenticeship, which we'll get to, but is basically, like I said, exactly what I'm doing today. So the focus was always as intended, and we have got there. So before I did that, I wanted to rebrand. I wanted to have a fresh start. I'm still legally trade as Ilcon Building. That's still who my license is under, Jacob, Iliadis, Snedden, and Ilcon Building, but trading as North Star Projects. And the reason for that, I went through Damien Scott. He's in Tassie there. He's a great guy. Rebranded it, sort of, it helped refocus and reimagine the business intent. So taking it away from being a carpentry-based subcontracting business to a domestic building unlimited business. Yeah, so I think that's a very important process for businesses to go through. It's an expense that is a little bit daunting, but it's worth every cent because it helps set the framework of what your objectives are, who you are as a business, the language that your brand speaks, like how do you want people to perceive you at the first glance? Like, this is an important step to get it right from the start so that then everything else flows correctly. It's also a good step because it shows and highlights deviation from the original intent.
Yeah.
It's
so you essentially like, it's a process by which he helps you essentially clarify or get extremely clear on the values, right, by which your business is run. And that's all. That, I guess, that sort of would be that's also a framework for the decision making you make in the business as well, right?
I mean, it's reflective of how I run a business. It's like, and the branding sort of speaks to that. It's not so much like the ins and outs of, let's say, the procedures and protocols of the business. It's how the brand, the language, the design, the colors, like the way that it's going to get like detailed or decaled on your car, on a sign at the front of your job. It's like, what does that speak to people? The language around the words used for, you know, for your website and how you market yourself on your Instagram, like that all comes from a template, which is derived from a discovery process, from having a conversation with another person that's trying to extract this information from you as the business director.
Yeah. So
that was, like you said, that was the first stage of the rebranding, let's say, process. And yeah, we got it. We sort of, there was a whole bunch of names, I suppose, and styles that were thrown out there, but North Star Project sort of hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's like a directional sort of based business. So giving guidance, the North Star's a directional based star. We feel that we do guide people in the right direction in a complex situation or a complex environment. Their biggest investment of their life, a lot of people, is their house, their home, their family home that they renovate and build, which they're going to cherish and spend a lot of money on. Probably one of the biggest purchases they'll ever make. And so, like, it's important for us as a business to be able to help guide them in the right direction and make, I suppose, the most informed decisions that suit their lifestyle and their situation. And yeah, that's where that sort of came from.